On December 4th, here in Ventura County, we experienced the beginning of the largest wildfire in California history and one of the most destructive wildfires in California history as well. As you know, in this area, we experience a lot of wildfires through the summer months and then well into the fall. And on December 4th, the Thomas Fire did begin and lasted for over a month and burned 281,000 acres. And thousands of structures were destroyed. On the very first night of the Thomas Fire, we did unfortunately have one civilian fatality. It was a traffic accident that was caused by when people were evacuating from one of the canyons that's north of the Ventura City area where the fire eventually burned into that first night. The fire started in Santa Paula, which is east of Ventura City. And one of those canyons, Wheeler Canyon, there was a traffic accident and unfortunately someone perished. The traffic accident did also cause others, residents that live in the area, to be trapped behind that traffic accident. If you can imagine the conditions, the smoke and the wind that was 40-50 mile an hour gust wind coming through this canyon, that was such a harrowing experience for those residents that live in this canyon that all they could think about was getting to safety. We had fire crews from Ventura County Fire Department and other agencies in this canyon looking for folks that needed to be evacuated that were in harm's way. We did find those folks that were trapped by the traffic accident, and what our firefighters did was nothing short of amazing. They sprung into action and thought of a way that they could literally save these evacuees' lives without having to evacuate them. What they did was they repositioned one of their fire engines near an open field, much like what you see here, and they led those civilians, those residents, by a dry hose line from the fire engine through the smoky conditions, windy conditions, very hard to hear, very hard to see, led them into a safe area while the fire burned through. The fire burned with such intensity that I can only imagine there was still tremendous heat even after the fire burned through. But many lives were saved, not only in that situation, but many other acts of heroism that took place those first few nights where lives were being saved. And all through the canyon communities and into Ventura, our main objective was to search for lives that needed to be saved and rescued and help people get out of harm's way. This fire moved at a tremendous rate the first night with those winds like I described. It moved a distance of approximately 14 miles in about 4 hours time, and it burned through a half a dozen canyons between Santa Paula and Ventura by the time it got to East Ventura. And as you know, it continued to burn for many, many weeks after and continued to burn farther north into Santa Barbara County. We are so thankful for all of the agencies all around the western United States that came to the aid of Ventura County to help us finally bring an end to the Thomas Fire. And our numbers that we're aware of are 13 of the western United States sent fire crews to assist us, and many, many hundreds and hundreds of fire agencies that we spent weeks thanking afterwards came to the aid of Ventura County Fire Department and our local fire agencies to help us combat that fire that went on for many weeks and stretched into Santa Barbara County as well. So this is just one story of many acts of heroism that went on, not only from the first night of the Thomas Fire, but on into the end of the Thomas Fire.